Welcome to episode 17 of our Wednesday self-care or self-care Wednesdays. I hope that you had a great week. You haven't been that extremely busy and you're looking forward to a few more days to the end of the week. Today, I will not take a lot of time. I'll just go straight to what I've been thinking about, what I'm reflecting on over the last couple of weeks, days since the last time when we did the last episode. Last week, of course, the episode was just welcome us all back from Christmas and talk about the new year. And today's episode will be mainly focusing on reset. I spent the whole week thinking about this whole idea about resetting. And I was thinking about it's the beginning of the year. There's a lot of things that are happening. There are a lot of different activities, people setting goals and things like that, and trying to think about what can we actually do so that at the end of the day, we can achieve the maximum from this year 2025. One of the words that has actually just kept on ringing in my mind since the beginning of the week has been reset. Of course, sometimes if you need to reset something, it means that maybe it was a clock was working, it was a phone was working or not working so well, and it gets to a point where you're like, let's go back into reset mode, kind of bring back to the start, bring everything back to where it all started, so that at the end of the day, you can be able to make maybe adjustments, to be able to change maybe something that you feel hasn't been going well and things like that. There's so much danger if you just decide kind of to be in replay mode. Sometimes when I have music or I have something I'm doing and I just want that background distractions, I usually actually just put things on replay. It's just like kind of playing and playing and playing and playing. And there's an advantage of that because at the end of the day, I can know the song very well, or I can listen to a sermon, or I can listen to a teaching, and that really helps. But when it comes to the beginning of the year, you don't really want to be in replay mode. You want sometimes to just get to a point where you're coming to the point of resetting, thinking clear. We have been doing ABCD for the last year. What has it what tangible results have we got? If you cannot be able to say anything that you have gotten from the year before, you can't go into replay mode, because they say only a fool, so to say, loosely speaking, does the same thing over and over and over again. Okay, insanity is doing the same thing, expecting different results. So if you've actually been on replay mode for your year in, year out, doing the same thing, and you're reaping the same results, you're not seeing a difference, maybe beginning of the year can be a time that you can say to yourself, let's do some resetting rather than replaying, right? Let's sit down and do some kind of journaling, kind of taking an account and saying the last year we did A, B, C, D. What did we benefit from that one year? What did you end up doing that was really profitable? If you find something that is profitable, you may want to do it longer. If you find something that wasn't profitable, if you find something that wasn't encouraging you, lifting you up, wasn't a good vibe for you, when you're doing the reset, you'll say to yourself, Claire, we've got to let go of these. We've got to let go of those habits, those things that haven't served us well in the year before, so that this year can be a much more better year. This year can be a year that we can be more productive. And so that's why I was just thinking today to do a quick chat through resetting and just kind of asking us, like, what are those things that we have to think about differently for this year? What is it that maybe some of the things that you just need to take a pause and think of yourself, Claire 2025, what do I want to achieve in 2025? What do I really want to, who do I really want to become in 2025? What is it that I want to achieve in the relationships in my life? What do I want to achieve in terms of my career, in terms of my health, in terms of my wealth? Those are the three things that I'm very big on. And then going back and saying, what is it that I need to change? But you can't make a change, or you can't start changing if you are just doing things on, like, as I said, replay mode. Year in, year out is the same thing. It's the same way of doing things. It's the same old way of thinking. It's the same old way of behavior and things like that. There is a place for that for sure. Don't get me wrong. If you find a formula that works so well, why would you want to change it? But sometimes if you find something that doesn't seem to work well, a formula that doesn't seem to really give you the equation to work out in a way, you might just sit back and say, well, let's work on this. Let's have a conversation. Call yourself into a conference call. Ask yourself, what can I do differently? Who can I become different in these so that at the end of the day, I want to see shifts in my life. I want to see shifts in my career. I want to see shifts in my health. I'm big on my health so that at the end of the day, come 2025, I already started telling myself 2025 December is not far away. Before we realize in a couple of weeks time, actually not a couple of weeks time, about 2 weeks time, we will be done with January, right? And then we'll go into February. Before we realize December is here. You don't want to get to December and look back and you're like, wow, basically I did the same thing year in, year out. So today, I'll start like on this reset thing so that next week when I come back on the next live recording, I'll continue with kind of breaking it down. How can we do resetting? How can we reset our health? How can we reset our spiritual life? How can you reset the very many different aspects of our life so that at the end of the day, we begin like kind of in a way on a fresh canvas, right? On a fresh page. We begin with kind of in a way just fresh ideas, like fresh innovation, fresh things that can actually help us so that we can get better year in, year out. We can get better at the way we relate with ourselves, at the way we relate with other people, at the way we invest in ourselves, at the way we invest in other people, right? So I don't make this a long one. I can basically, well, there's some people watching live, so I'm gonna give some shout outs because Naveen says it's only me, it's not you only, Naveen. There are a few more people that are watching, and I really want to appreciate every one of you who's watching. I was just talking about resetting, and I was saying that this year we want to try and do things differently. This year we want to try and do things in a way that will be more different so that we can end up with different results. And so coming next year, next week, we will spend more time. Mr. Gray Player, I can see you. We will spend more time next week just going down into breaking it down. How can we research? How can we begin this journey of kind of in a way doing things differently so that we can achieve different results? And if you're as keen as I am on things like health, I'll be talking a little bit about some challenges that we can do. I'll be talking about some things to do with how can we reset our minds, how can we reset our physical well-being, reset our spiritual well-being, reset our emotional well-being, reset our relational well-being. And so we'll break those down every single moment. We will break that down every single week, and no matter how much it takes, I don't really mind that, as long as we can be able to get to a point where we will be able to say we have made some changes, tangible changes that will give us a better year. I don't want us to get to a year where it's just kind of replaying things back and back and back again. Some cycles have got to end with 2024. Some cycles have actually got to end with the beginning of 2025. We cannot carry on sometimes doing the same things, as I said, over and over again. So that I don't make this so long than it's necessary, I just want, again, as I said, to give some shout outs to you guys who are watching. Bob, I see you, I hear you. Mr. Gray Plays, I can't even say that. I hear you, I see you. I can see my sister. Woohoo! I hear you, I see you. It's lovely to see you guys live with me. And maybe one of these days I may bring a surprise because my sister is around. I might bring her for a surprise visit. Anyway, so that I don't take a lot of your time, have a blessed evening. We shall catch up again next week for the first installment of how we can be able to reset. As always, as I say, my prayer for you is that you will prosper and be in good health, even as your soul prospers. Know that you have a fantastic Catch up same place, same time next Wednesday. God bless. Much love from me.